Hello everyone, my name is Raka Zabin. I'm a doctoral student at the Faculty of Education at Brock University, Ontario, Canada. The topic of my research is Educational Technology and Innovation, how students can benefit from technology-mediated educational platforms. In order to smoothly transition to the online educational platforms after the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, the integration of technologically enabled systems becomes vital for developing countries to keep up with the dynamic international educational context. With the sudden shift away from classroom in many parts of the globe, some are wondering whether the adoption of online learning will continue to persist post-pandemic and how such a shift would impact the worldwide education market. Even before COVID-19, there was already high growth and adoption in education technology, with global edtech investment reaching $18.66 billion in 2019 and the overall market for online education projected to reach $350 billion by 2025. Whether it is language apps, virtual tutoring, video conferencing tools, or online learning software, there has been a significant surge in usage since COVID-19, which tends to move forward. With the worldwide lockdown due to COVID-19 and the transition to online learning, some students are satisfied with the support provided by the educational institutions. Still, deficient computer skills, lack of teacher training, issues regarding curriculum, assessment, and accountability prevented them from perceiving their improved performance in the new teaching and learning environment for most of the developing countries. According to the UNESCO Institute for Information Technologies in Education and Leveraging ICT for Achieving Education 2030, a close examination of lessons learned from the past ICT in education projects of UNESCO revealed that the needs of the Asia-Pacific region are associated with a lack of alignment and coordination between national ICT in education policy and actual teacher development on how to effectively use ICT to enhance pedagogy and student learning. One-time off-site teacher trainings hardly create any impact on teachers' institutional practices. Inappropriate tracking and monitoring of the teacher's development and actual use or integration of ICT in the field, along with a lack of ongoing in-school support mechanism, have also been constantly raised in the region and beyond. This ultimately leads to low capacities among teachers to support ICT in education policies at the practice level. Now let's look into some of the common educational challenges that are persisting in the developing countries. I am myself an international educator from Bangladesh, and these are some insights that I have gathered through my own experience. Improving educational oversight and accountability, enhancing teacher training, updating curriculum resources to ensure they are more relevant, improving classroom assessment strategies and formal examinations so that they foster 21st century skills. These challenges can be considered to be a result of the limited number of trained teachers, inadequate management systems for teacher recruitment, training, performance, and evaluation, and relatively outdated curriculum and effective instructional approaches. These are some of the common challenges faced by the educational systems of the developing countries that can be addressed through the UNESCO's ICT framework and the much-needed integration of technological innovations. Based on UNESCO's support, it is crucial to design and implement effective evidence-based ICT in education policies and master plans. UNESCO works to ensure activities on the ground respond to countries' and local communities' unique needs and are guided by collaborative and consensus-driven approaches. UNESCO works to provide the development of national ICT in education policies and master plans to help governments and other stakeholders leverage ICT effectively throughout education systems to achieve Sustainable Development Goal 4 for Education 2030. While the global pandemic and the resulting lockdowns have exacerbated the challenges of pre-pandemic education systems, one of the positive lessons learned is that technology-mediated education platforms can be used to overcome many educational challenges and directly contribute to student achievement today and into the future. Used effectively, an innovative technology-mediated education platform can be used for the following: update and consolidate learning resources, support flexible delivery models, enhance student and parent communication, support ongoing teacher professional development, increase efficiency and reduce costs. Education systems that take advantage of the functionality that a technology-mediated education system offers can expect to benefit from enhanced accountability, quality assurance, and administrative oversight. Improve student achievement as a result of increased student engagement and increased efficiency and cost savings. Consequently, the use of an online platform should be considered more than an emergency resource, but an essential element for the evolution of education in the 21st century. The integration of technology-mediated platforms can facilitate student success by providing students with access to their learning material 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without regard to their location. The consolidation of learning resources into a digital library can also be of great benefit to educators and school leaders. A digital library ensures all educators have access to the centrally created materials. This can serve to ensure that all teachers have access to high-quality learning resources. In addition to facilitating the efficient distribution of cloud-based resources, the use of digital learning resources can also eliminate the costly loss or destruction of valuable curriculum resources such as textbooks, handouts, and worksheets. In the last decade, the move to digitize educational resources has greatly benefited the rise of open educational resources, also known as OER. UNESCO defines OER being teaching, learning, and research material in any medium, digital or otherwise, that reside in the public domain or have been released under an open license that permits no-cost access, use, adaptation, and redistribution by others with no or limited restrictions. Often created by a notable educational organization, these freely available resources can be used to rapidly upgrade the quality of the learning experience of students. Beyond being essential to the efficient delivery of remote teaching, the use of technology-mediated educational platforms facilitates flexible education delivery models that would not be possible without the advanced functionality it provides. A well-designed course housed on an online educational system can be repurposed to be used to support a variety of different instructional approaches. Creating effective online lessons requires teachers to carefully structure the learning experiences in advance, rather than instructors teaching from memory or improvising as they enter the classroom. This can increase the likelihood that their lesson will be grounded in learning science and research-supported pedagogy. Thoughtfully created lessons can then be used for remote teaching, blended teaching, as well as modified to support differentiated instruction for in-person classes. It should be clear that the use of a technology-mediated system brings with it many benefits for students and teachers, but it is also important to note that the implementation of such a platform can also result in significant administrative benefits. Consolidating content in a central location makes it easy for administrators to review lesson content and ensure an appropriate level of quality assurance. As previously noted, such a platform with a digital library can be an effective means to foster teacher collaboration and sharing. As a consequence, having access to an online educational system can serve to foster the much-needed improvements in organizing teaching and learning, managing personnel, giving due attention to underperforming children, and overall accountability at the institutional level that the government has deemed necessary in the developing countries. As technology continues to change the nature of work rapidly, educational systems that fail to address their educational shortcoming and close the technological skill gaps may severely stunt their economic growth and threaten their economic, social, and political stability of their country into the future. A significant consequence of ongoing investments into educational innovation post-pandemic is that it could result in a leapfrog moment where an innovation has suddenly moved from the margins to the center of many educational systems, and there is an opportunity to identify new strategies that, if sustained, can help young people get an education that prepares them for our changing times. The inclusion of technology-mediated platforms, including instructional and assessment strategies in alignment with the UNESCO ICT framework, will help to ensure that the students of these developing countries are able to compete better with students from all over the world with more substantial ICT knowledge and exposure. The current pandemic is an unprecedented instance that demonstrated the need and importance of online learning platforms. These platforms need to be incorporated and sustained post-pandemic to keep up with the global educational advances. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. Please share your valuable feedback and comments via email at rzabeen@brocu.ca. Thanks once again.